All right, Nick, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. They have a young rookie player who we're going to talk about today, who I think we both think has one of the coolest stories for a guy. It's really a truly uplifting, empowering story of a guy who started out from nothing and worked his way all the way up to potentially having a shot at being an NFL starter. And that is very cool. It's a really interesting story. And before we get into that, Bengals fans, we want to know. There's been a ton of great Bengals players throughout history, a lot of characters on this Bengals team, so to speak. But we want to know, growing up in your era of the Bengals, who was the guy that you liked to watch the most? Who did you idolize on the Bengals team? Was it a guy like Chad Ochocinco? Like I said, characters, a lot of character on the team. Was it Ickey Woods? Did you like the Shuffle? Geno Atkins? Or Chris Collinsworth? There's a ton of Bengals guys out there. So let us know in the comments below, who was your favorite Bengal growing up? But Nick, let's get into this story.
Yeah, so the Bengal we're going to highlight today is none other than Bengals rookie Cordell Volson, and let's bring up a picture of Volson. I tell you what, looking at this guy right here, right away you just know he's a champ. I love this right here. But here's the story. This is according to Fan Nation, all Bengals. Bengals rookie Cordell Volson appears to be closing in on the starting left guard job. The 24-year-old was on the field for all 67 offensive snaps in Cincinnati's 25-22 loss to New York on their last preseason game. Volson made some mistakes, but the positives outweighed the negatives. According to Brandon Allen, he can only get better from where he's at. For a rookie in his position, he's a really good player, and I think that this is a good group of guys around him in the O-line room are only going to help him and turn him into a great player. The Bengals took Volson in the 4th round in this past NFL draft. He's made the most of his opportunity with Jackson Carman out after testing positive for COVID-19. Don't be shocked if Volson is starting at left guard when the Bengals open the regular season on Sunday, September 11th. So, Miles, we do a lot of stories where we look back and try and see what rookies were impressing in preseason, who's winning these key position battles. And, we do a lot of research on these players to try and, learn more about them. And, we dug into Volson some, and it just gets better and better. So let's back up 1 week. And this is Bengals offensive line coach, Coach Pollock, talking about Volson here. He definitely has shit in his neck. Polak said with a smile. He's hard on himself. He's rookie. He's growing. He's learning. It's a big step to go from a smaller to the school to the NFL. I lived it myself, and he's a much better player, much farther along. All right, Mike. So first of all, I want your opinion because I want you to give me your deep, most hard-ribbed analysis here. What does he has ish in his neck? What do you think that means? If you had to describe that for all our viewers out there, what do you think of that when you think of that or when you hear that?
Well, I think Coach did some research, okay? He knows Volson. He knows Volson's family owns and operating a small excavating business in North Dakota that digs up sewer lines. So maybe he was talking about there's literally some ish that got onto his neck at one point in time. You never know. But no, I think it means he's, I guess, hard-headed, but it'll be hard-necked. That's a really interesting analogy. Only the coach really knows what he was trying to say here, but there's a lot of there's a lot of ways that this could go.
Yeah, I think it literally makes no sense. I'm assuming it's a compliment. Sounds like a compliment. But speaking of compliments, I know we've got some more stuff on Volson here, but I want to bring up one thing from his draft profile that I think is absolutely awesome. And this was actually a weakness, according to NFL.com. He defaults to mauling rather than getting his hands right. Think about that as a weakness. He defaults to taking other full-grown human beings and mauling them into the ground and destroying their souls forever. Instead of, getting his hands in the perfect position so that way he has the right angle, he defaults to literally breaking the will of another human being. This is my kind of player. This guy is absolutely awesome. I think he came from North Dakota State, right? That's where he went to. He's from that area. Just salt of the earth. Look at this picture of this guy. First of all, doesn't he just look? He looks like a destroyer of human wills right here. I'm going to be really excited to watch Volson play for the Bengals for a long time, but especially this year.
Yeah, no, and I think there's a lot of interesting stuff about Volson. Just reading a couple of things about him, they talk to his brother, and they talk about his favorite memory of his brother is when he was 11 years old, watching him try to shear a sheep. Maybe that's where he got his hand placement from. He couldn't quite get the technique, so he just like mauled the sheep into the ground and sheared it the best way that he knew how. There's a lot of interesting stuff. He came from Balfour, which had a population of 27 people. This sounds like a guy, like this is truly like the kind of story where this guy has made it. He came from a small town of 27 people, was on a farm shearing sheep. A family ran an excavating business, moving heavy machinery. Probably dreamed every day of, one day I'm going to make it out of this town. I'm going to go somewhere big. And he's doing it. He is doing it. And just a quick run through of some of his PFF grades. Every year at North Dakota State, he progressed. And that's something we talk about all the time. In 2019, 79.2 grade. In 2020, an 84.3 grade. In 2021, an 89.3 grade. Excellent run blocker and pretty good pass blocker as well. So, the mauling pays off in the run game, and he seems like he's a capable enough passer as well. They do like to throw the ball a lot in North Dakota State. So, he seems like a great fit for the Bengals, a good culture guy, and he can bring a lot of, small town vibes to a big town like Cincinnati. All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.